So I thought it might be useful to do a video about the FastPass Pluses at Disney World in general, so meaning all 4 parks, just, you know, how it works and what my picks would be if I was going to FastPass, or when I FastPass things, because I feel like some people use FastPasses for things that you really don't need to use them for, if you know what you're doing, which I feel like sometimes I do. Not always, but sometimes. So, if you don't know, FastPass is absolutely free. That's something that I wanted to address. Hold on, my camera's like crooked. There we go. FastPass is absolutely free. I wanted to say that. I think most people know that, but I have had a person or two when I was like planning a trip with them, and I'm like, I'll do our FastPasses to be like, okay, what do I owe you? Like, how much does that cost? And I'm like, it's free. Like, it doesn't cost anything. And they're like, oh, really? So I felt like it was important to mention that. If you were staying off property, or no, I'm sorry, if you were staying on property, I believe you can get your FastPasses at 90 days before you're going to be there. Whereas if you're staying at off property, you have 30 days. Like, it's 30 days before you're going to be in the park. And you can do, like, so say I was checking into Magic Kingdom in exactly 30 days. I could do Magic Kingdom. And then, like, tomorrow, if in exactly from 30 days tomorrow I was going to be in Epcot, then tomorrow I could do Epcot. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you can't, like, if your vacation starts on Monday and it's 30 days before that, you can't do your whole week. It's got to go, like, day by day at 30 days, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Sorry, I have, like, something weird going on with my throat today. I think I'm getting sick, but whatever. We're just going to ignore that. So, yeah, they're absolutely free. You get 3 per day for 1 park. So if you are doing like a park hopper and you're going to Magic Kingdom in the morning and then Animal Kingdom in the afternoon, you got to pick 1 park to do your 3 initial in. You can't do like 2 at Magic Kingdom and 1 at Animal Kingdom. It don't work like that. Now, once you use up all 3 of your fast passes, you can get more one at a time throughout the day. And you can do that either on your phone on the Disney app, or they have kiosks set up around the park. And sometimes like near the kiosks, if they're especially busy, they have cast members that have like an iPad, and you can talk to them and they can do it for you too, which is fine. Cool, whatever. So I'm just going to go through each park and tell you what I would fast pass, and I'm not going to go through every ride. I'm not going to go through like every age group. I mean, not too much. I will tell you like things that I used to fast pass that I don't anymore, and I'll tell you why I don't anymore. And things that I think require a fast pass, but it doesn't have to be one of your 3 initial, if you know what I'm saying. So for Magic Kingdom, typically I will try to get the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train because it is Disney's newest ride. I think it's their newest ride everywhere. Yeah, it is actually, I think. Still. Cool, good for them. So I always try to get that, as well as Peter Pan, which is an original ride, and the wait time is always, always, always like 45 minutes or more. It's actually usually closer to like over an hour, like 70, 80 minutes, which it is an original ride, meaning it was one of the original 7 rides. It is very nostalgic, very cute for little kids. It's one of my favorites because Peter Pan is probably my favorite Disney movie. Do I think it's worth standing in line for 70 minutes? Probably not. The ride takes about 4 minutes, and it's not like, oh my god, this is so cool. Oh my god. I mean, it is when you think about the fact that it was built in the 70s, but compared to something like new, like the new stuff they do, not that impressive. Do you know what I mean? So I fast pass that because I'm not waiting in line for an hour for something that takes 4 minutes, and I have to do it because it's Peter Pan. So Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Peter Pan, and then I would typically try to get another one of the mountains. So either Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, or Big Thunder Mountain, just depending on who I'm going with and what the priorities are. That's the 3 I try to do initially. Now, you know, mix that up, do whatever you want to do. I used to always get a fast pass for Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and then I learned that if you walk right into the park when they open and go straight to that, I would say if you get there within the first 45 minutes of opening, the wait time is about 5 or 10 minutes. For some reason, every morning, that wait time is very, very low. And I'm sure that's because people are rushing off to meet characters, see the morning show, and I mean the morning show at the castle, not the one out front. You know, or rushing off to one of the mountains, Space Splash or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, or, what am I missing? Big Thunder. Like, people are rushing to the main things. So Buzz Lightyear is not busy. So it's become the tradition to walk in, make that right, and head straight to Tomorrowland and get Buzz Lightyear done. Now, if we want to ride it later on again, I'll get a fast pass for it later in the day after we've used up our 3. But I just go on it first thing in the morning. It's always our first ride. We never wait more than 10 minutes. Just a little tip. The other thing I wanted to say, I just had a thought in my head and I lost it, guys. How did I do that? I should have made notes for this video and I didn't because, again, I'm irresponsible. I'm sorry. Whatever. I'm sure it'll come back to me. So yeah, we always do that first. Oh, that's what I was going to say. It came back to me that quick. I'm weird. I always try to make all of my fast passes, if possible, early in the morning. Like my goal is to be done with all 3 of them by noon. So that way, all afternoon and all evening, I can just keep getting more. Because the second you use it, you can get another one. And, so if you have like 2 in the morning and 1 at 10 o'clock at night, well, now you have the whole day and you can't do anything until you use that last fast pass. Then you can get more, but they're about to close. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just try to do them all first thing in the morning, get them done. Even if that means like you're going back and forth across the park, which normally I'm against. I'm very much like start and work your way around. But if you have to do that to use up your first 3 and get them done in the morning and then you can get more, do it. It is what it is. Take the train around the park. Do whatever you have to do. Just get it done. So yeah, I always ride Buzz Lightyear early in the morning. After we use up the first 3 initial fast passes, regardless of what they are, I will go for the other mountains, because like I said, I get 1 of the 3, because we try to get 7 dwarfs and then 1 of the 3 other ones. So I'll try to get them again. I'll try to get the Haunted Mansion, depending on the wait times, because I feel like sometimes the Haunted Mansion isn't that bad, and then other times it's like, what did everybody decide we like the Haunted Mansion today? We all want to ride it. As well as Jungle Cruise, because again, like it's a classic ride. I believe it was Walt Disney's favorite ride when he was still alive. So, and I really like it, especially if we can get like a funny skipper. I think that's what they call them. It can be very amusing, and the kids love it. So we always try to do that. I will never, ever, ever fast pass Pirates of the Caribbean. Favorite ride, hands down, in all of Disney. Never fast pass it. I don't care if that wait time's an hour. They lie to you. I swear they do, because we've gotten in line when it says an hour and waited in line for 20 minutes. Those boats can fit a lot of people. They are constantly going, constantly moving. People are constantly getting on and off. Like, it's not that bad. Plus, you're standing in air conditioning. Like, that tunnel, that cave, dungeon, castle, whatever the hell it's supposed to be that you're in, is blasting air. So it feels good. And I just don't feel like it's worth, like, getting a fast pass for. Do you know what I mean? Now, granted, if you've done everything you want to do and you can get a fast pass and Pirates is available, go for it. But I wouldn't waste like one of the 3 originals on Pirates, because you can typically get on pretty quickly. Same can be said for It's a Small World. I've never waited more than 15 minutes for that ride, and I've been there like at busy times, like spring break, the day before Easter. Never waited more than 15 minutes. Any kind of show, Mickey's Philharmonic might be the only show I can think of off the top of my head at Magic Kingdom. Don't waste a fast pass on it. That theater can hold a lot of people, like a lot. The only thing you're guaranteeing yourself is a seat. Like, you're not going to get a better seat because you have a fast pass. And you're still going to have to wait until the show before you is done. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not just going to be like, stop the show, we have a fast pass person. No, you're still going to have to stand there and wait. It's just guaranteeing that you're getting in. But it's a waste. Like, you don't need it. I have fast pass characters for the kids. And I think that if you have a child that is a die-hard, like, I have to meet this character, yes, get the fast pass. The last time I took my nieces, my niece Sadie, who was about 4 at the time, had to meet Ariel. Like, there was no way around it. There was no telling her that was not the real Ariel. Like, we had to meet her, and we had to do it today. It was our first day there. Like, we're going to be here for 5 more days. I don't care. We have to meet her today, now if possible. So we got a fast pass for Ariel. It worked out. We were in and out of there. She got to meet her. She got the picture. She got the autograph. She did the whole thing. She was in her glory the rest of the trip. And we didn't have to wait in line for 30 minutes to do it. So I do think that you can meet characters without fast passes quickly at times of the day, especially if you pay attention to the app and pay attention to like how the wait times are and everything. But like I said, if it's somebody that your kid just has to meet and there's no getting around it, get the fast pass if you can. Suck it up. It is what it is. And then you can, get it out of the way and it's done. So that's what I would do at Magic Kingdom. As far as Epcot goes, I'll do that next. We usually fast pass Test Track, the Nemo ride, which is usually a waste, but you have to use all 3 in order, in my opinion. Like, you might as well, right? Because you get 3. So we do Test Track, the Nemo ride, and we usually do use one to meet characters there. They have a character spot where you can meet Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy with a fast pass. And it usually works out really well because, again, that's 3 of the major characters. Like, you're not going to go to Disney with kids and not meet Mickey. Like, who does that? You can't. You can't do that to your child. So it gets all 3 of them out of the way. For those of you who don't know, Epcot and Hollywood Studios have tiers for their fast passes. So the reason that I only fast pass Test Track as a major ride is because Soarin', as well as the new Frozen ride I've heard, are in the same tier, so you got to pick one. So my strategy is usually to get there when they open and go right to Soarin'. Like, bypass everything else, don't stop for nothing, get to Soarin', get right in line, ride Soarin'. I think we usually wait like 20-25 minutes, which is well worth it for Soarin'. If you've ever been on it, I would wait 3 hours to ride that ride. That's how impressed I am. And then we're done with Soarin', and we can do whatever. Now, obviously, if we use up, the thing about fast passes is that they're only going to give out so many per ride per day. There's certain rides that are never going to run out of fast passes, in my opinion. And that would be, you know, at Magic Kingdom, like the Jungle Cruise, Pirates, probably Peter Pan, not Seven Dwarfs, that always runs out. It's a Small World. So although we could do like Test Track and the other rides that we originally fast passed and then get one for Soarin', I always worry like, okay, so what if we do all 3 of these rides? It's 11 a.m. I go to get a Test Track for Soarin', and they don't have any because they ran out, and now we have to wait in line for 2 hours to ride Soarin', which again, I would do, but why? Like, now we're just wasting time. So we always go in, ride Soarin', then do our other stuff in the front of Epcot, you know, the other rides and our other fast passes. And then when our fast passes are done at Epcot, we will grab more occasionally. It just depends on the day. Like, and when I say we, I mean my family. Like, when I'm there with family, so meaning like my mom, my stepdad, my sister, and brother-in-law, the kids, we absolutely love the countries in Epcot. Like, don't get me wrong, we like the rides and we dig it. We like Nemo and Turtle Talk and Living with the Land and all that. But like, we try to get all the stuff in the front of the park done by like noon, 1 o'clock, so that the whole like remainder of most of our day, probably until after dinner time, is spent in the countries, because we just adore the countries. We're big fans, and we really like to take our time, take pictures, and, you know, go in all the little stores, watch the street performers. Like, we do not like to be rushed. So that's kind of always been the strategy at Epcot. And again, like, we can still get everything done that we want to do. So that's what I would do at Epcot. And then once you use those 3, I kind of feel like whatever you want to do. If you want to do Mission Space, do Mission Space. If you want to do the big ball, which the name is escaping me right now, do the big Epcot ball. You know, we do all that, and like I said, we will get fast passes for it as needed. But I feel like Epcot for us is so about the countries that there's been times we've gone and we haven't done the big ball, and we haven't done Mission Space, and we haven't done like Ellen. I don't think I've done Ellen in like 8 or 9 years, because it's just, I love Ellen DeGeneres. I love her. She's one of my favorite celebrities. And I love Disney, and I love everything they do, and I don't mean to offend, but that ride puts me to sleep. I feel like they either need to update it or put something else there, because, come on guys, really, 45 minutes? No, too much. So yeah, we just do what we'd like to do, and then we hit the countries, and we're in the countries the majority of the time. So that's all I can really say about Epcot, and I apologize if it wasn't enough, but I don't want to lie to you guys. So at Hollywood Studios, again, Hollywood Studios is a park that has a lot of shows. And as I said, I do not believe in fast-passing shows. Like, they have Beauty and the Beast, humongous area to watch this show. You don't need a fast pass. They have Indiana Jones, huge area again. You don't need a fast pass. They have The Little Mermaid. You don't need a fast pass for that. It's a show. Like, they're all shows. All your fast pass is doing is guaranteeing that you're getting in the theater. You're not going to get in earlier. You're not going to get a better seat. It's just a guarantee that if they run out of space, you're still getting in, and you're not going to get cut off and have to wait another 20 minutes. But as I said, all these theaters are pretty big, with the exception of The Little Mermaid, but I feel like even that theater is pretty big. Like, I've never had to wait for 2 shows there. It's always been, you get there, there's a show going on. When this show's over, we're going to let you in, and they let you in, and it's great. So I don't waste fast passes on shows. That being said, I do fast pass the fireworks show. Well, it's not even really fireworks. The night show at Hollywood Studios, and that show is called Fantasmic. I think it runs twice a night, but I think like when it's not as busy there, they do it once a night. My goal is always to get 3 fast passes, use them first thing in the morning, and then get one for Fantasmic as quickly as I possibly can. And I'm going to tell you why. Well, first let me tell you, I usually fast pass Toy Story, because the Toy Story Mania ride is awesome, and it's popular, and the line's usually long. So I fast pass that. Then I usually use a fast pass for, and I know I just preached about this, but I usually use it for the Little Mermaid ride, because the show, whatever, because like I said, I want to book all 3. I want to use all 3. Occasionally, depending on who I'm with, I will use one for Tower of Terror. I was on Tower of Terror once in my life, and I will never go on Tower of Terror again. I'm not a person that gets scared easily of rides. I've learned that I do not like to drop when I don't know that I'm going to drop, and I will never do it again. And unfortunately, my stomach can no longer do things like the rock and roller coaster. If you like to go upside down, if you like to drop, do one of them, but they're in separate tiers. Or no, they're in the same tier. I'm sorry. Keep that in mind. So you can only pick one. So do one, and then, you know, get right in line for the other one, because they do have long lines. I forgot to mention that. So, like, depending on who I'm with, I will do one of them for a fast pass. I will do Toy Story, and then I will either do the Little Mermaid ride or I will do Star Tours. Just depending on what kind of group I'm with and what's going on. And, you know, like, if I have my nieces, they don't really care about Star Tours. They'd rather see the Little Mermaid. If I have my nephew, he'd rather see go on Star Tours than watch the Little Mermaid. Do you know what I mean? So you just got to kind of cater to what's going on here. Once I've used up all three, as I said, I go for Fantasmic. And I realized, like I said before, that you don't want something that's late at night and now your whole day. Fantasmic runs out of fast passes. They will only let so many people in there. I have been there with a fast pass or with a guarantee to get in. Actually, no, the one time we went, we were walking towards it like 45 minutes before the show, and there was cast members in the street telling everybody to turn around. You can turn around because they're full, and that's all there is to it. They can't fit anybody else for this show. And we were very disappointed, and we actually ended up hanging out at the park like 2 hours later than we wanted to get the next show, because we wanted to see it, because I was with my nieces, and I believe that time they had never seen it before. Like, it was their first time. So it's just, to me, it's worth it at Hollywood Studios to get that fast pass for Fantasmic and have it early in the morning, and then don't worry about fast passes for the rest of the day. Because as I said, it is 90% shows there. You have the Little Mermaid, you have Beauty and the Beast, Indiana Jones, the Muppets, all shows. And you really, Disney Junior Live on Stage is a show. You really don't need fast passes for shows. The only thing that I would consider that's not a show is the Great Movie Ride. But again, I feel like that those cars that they have you in hold so many people that the wait time is never really that long. Like, you can kind of guesstimate. I want to say we've never waited more than 20 minutes for that ride, which really isn't bad. So that's my picks for Hollywood Studios. For Animal Kingdom, we usually fast pass Everest, the Safari, and the Kalaya River Rapids, however the hell you say it. I would also recommend, if you don't want one of those three, to go with Dinosaur, because that one gets a long wait. And yeah, same thing. There's a lot of shows there. There's Nemo, there's the Little Mermaid, or not the Little Mermaid, the Lion King. Nemo, the Lion King, A Bug's Life, their shows. They have a theater. You don't really have to worry about not getting a seat. Like, the theaters are big, especially Nemo. Like, the theater for Nemo is ginormous. And Lion King is pretty big too. Like, it's not a small theater. You're not going to have to wait. I mean, unless you're there like on Christmas Day, when they're like, or a day when the park is at its capacity, you're not going to have to wait. But yeah, that's what I fast pass. The River Rapids, Everest, and Safari. Definitely fast pass the Safari. The wait is outside. It's a long wait. We waited in line the first time we went on that ride, like when it had first opened, for almost 2.5 hours. Like, and it was so hot that day. You're outside. The only good thing about that line, and I don't know if they still do it, is that if you have kids, they'll let you keep the stroller until you're almost at the end of the line, which is excellent, because, you know, if you have kids, you don't want to have to deal with them not being in their stroller for a majority of the time, because it just makes it 10 times worse, because now you have to hold them, or they're tired, or, you know, whatever. But yeah, that's my pick for that. I'd also recommend, like I said, Dinosaur. I would recommend, is that all I'd recommend there? I'm trying to think what else is at that park that I would recommend. That actually might be it, because like I said, majority of their rides are shows again, or things like where you take the train to Rafiki's Planet Watch. Well, you're not going to have to wait real long for that. It's a freaking train. Like, it holds a lot of people, you know? So that's my recommendations for fast passes at the parks. And I don't know, like I said, I might do a video on like the shows, like the top shows, like shows you can't miss. And I thought about that, but in all honesty, like, all the shows are phenomenal. Like, I can't think of any that I would want to miss. You know what I mean? So, like, just see all the shows. They're great. Even if it's something you're not interested in. Like, the first time I saw The Lion King, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. It's now, like, my favorite show. Like, just see it. It's wonderful. So, yeah, thanks for watching the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.